Today I want to go through two of my favorite exercises. So the inchworm, so basically walking out to this push-up position, walking as close as you can to your hands and then back out again. And the press walks. Now with the press walks we do the opposite. We want to go up as high as we can onto the tippy toes, float the feet in. So high as you can, float the feet in. Both of those exercises that can help you to your road to press handstand and just basically be able to get in and out of the handstand positions much easier and much more efficiently because you're more compressed, better stacked, and just in a better position. So first of all, let's look at this inchworm position. Now, obviously we're going towards this forward fold position. Now, some of you can't do this. Some of you can't put your palms on the floor. Not an issue. This exercise is great for you. Some of you can do this easily. Again, this exercise is good for you, but in a different way. So those of you that are tight, that can't put their palms to the floor yet, just think of it as it's going to slowly wind you up. The closer you go, as long as I keep my palms glued to the floor, it's going to wind up the calves and the hamstrings as long as I keep the knees locked backwards. Now it might be you just get to here, so like this down dog position, but it's different to the down dog because we've got weight into the hands and shoulders and we're not pushing back this way. So this might just feel like a good stretch for you. If it does, hold there for 2 or 3 seconds and then walk back out again. Now walk a little bit closer this time because you're pre-stretched from the last repetition. Hold for a couple of seconds, walk back out again. Now, a lot of people with this one, if they are tight, they tend to cheat the movement. So what will happen is, as they walk in, they'll bend their knees and or they'll lift up their palms like this, and then they'll quickly walk back out again. So they're not actually getting a stretch in the ideal position. So make sure when you're doing it, you lock the knees backwards, you walk the hands out to that push-up position, you keep the palms glued to the floor, and then just walk in as close as you can get, keeping those knees locked backwards. Find the sweet spot, hold for a few seconds. Now for those of you that are already flexible enough to get your palms to the floor, walk in all the way to your hands now so you get to this position. Now if I don't feel any stretch here, I can really lock the knees backwards, pull the head down towards the floor and get into a really deep forward fold position. And I'm trying to get my stomach and my chest to get as close to my legs as possible. Hold for a few seconds, walk back out. So it's exactly the same movement, you're just going to wind it up even more. Now you kind of play around with, if you're a bit more advanced with it, is to walk all the way in and then like try and touch as high up at your forearm as you can on both sides. You could try and do things like opposite elbow to toe instead when you walk all the way in. But there's definitely some benefits here in pushing this beyond this position so you can start to lift up from flat feet. You can then make presses from that flat-footed position much easier. Then we have the press walks. Now again, everyone can do this. It's just going to look quite different person to person. So I get myself into my start position, which is around here somewhere. I could have bent knees, especially if I'm not so flexible. I'm going to push as high as I can up onto tiptoes. And I'm not just taking the shoulders forwards. I'm trying to stack as much as I can. So I actually don't want to planche. So I don't want to do this. I'm trying to do this. So I'm trying to squish and go up. Now that's where it's going to look different for everyone depending on your flexibility, your strength and control in that upper back area. But ideally we're going to climb forwards as high as we can onto tiptoes, let the feet go, float back down. High as we can, float back down. Now if you're not so flexible, if you can't quite get the hips stacked enough, you're going to have to add a little bit of a jump in. So we get up onto tiptoes, bend the knees, jump in. Up onto tiptoes, bend the knees, jump in. If you've got more flexibility beyond that, so you can do this one easily, then we can start to clap. So there, clap the feet. There, clap the feet. If we can clap the feet once, see if you can clap the feet twice, which is going to demand you to hold the position in that upper back area. So hold, 1, 2, come back down. 1, 2. Now there is a progression here where you could go backwards as well. So up, up. I much prefer the forwards movement one, but you can play with that backwards one as well. Have a play with both of those. Let me know how you go down in the comments. Thumbs up and subscribe would be appreciated, and I'll speak to you soon. Thanks guys and girls.